time do you go to bed?
I prefer running outside, but the treadmills here are really cool, and they have these little screens where you can watch recordings of like somebody walking along this path in the middle of nowhere. And here's the brief recording I got of the parrots flying past our room.
I'm down at the gym working out right now.
This was kind of like the only time during this day when it was really windy at all. It was just up on this hill where there were no trees. So once again, my stupid flying medication made it so that I felt really sick all day, and I felt really tired because we were jet lagged. And so even though this museum was really cool, and they had this cool but also terrifying volcano exhibit that made me have a panic attack, I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have, because I just kept feeling nauseous and like really uneasy because of my medication.
No, not at all.
So this was when we really thought that the storm was going to start amping up, and we tried to stay in the hotel room, but then it was clear it wasn't really raining, nothing was really happening, so we left the room and we were just wandering around. So even though we got this alert earlier in the day, nothing really ended up happening with the storm at all until like 2 days later. Is it windy?
A little bit. Not too bad yet.
This is the front of our hotel, but in places all over Auckland it looked like this, where they had piled up sandbags in front of the doors to keep all the floodwater from coming in. So then finally, around this time, it sort of seemed like the storm was going to happen. It was becoming a lot windier, and it was raining, but still not very much, but there was a lot of debris on the ground, and generally it seemed like people were starting to stay home. This was the start of the coffee debacle, where I went out to get a coffee, and then I couldn't find anywhere that had coffee and pastries, and so I was wandering around for a half an hour, and then I finally found somewhere, but when I got it, I was carrying it back for a half an hour, and then in front of the hotel, I dropped the coffee onto my foot, and then I was walking around looking for a new coffee place to get the one that I dropped, because it was actually for my dad, but there was nowhere around, they were all closed, so then I just had to go back and give him the coffee, because I felt too bad, and so then I never ended up getting one. Is it windy?
Just a bit. Can't wear my hat.
I turned off the sound for this one because it was just way too loud. You can't even hear what I would be saying if I left it on. But this is the crater of this dormant, or I guess extinct, volcano, because here in Auckland it's a volcanic field. So whenever a volcano erupts, it erupts from a different, completely unknown place. So all around the city there are these little volcanoes all over the place. Here's the art store where the employee saw me, and I panicked and I stopped filming, and then I continued to film. This is the same park from the day before where there was absolutely no water in the middle, except today it was completely filled with a lake of water.